Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, and we know what the talk is for sure, and it's way more than talk. I can't even use that word when it comes to this probable cause affidavit that is Stacy Wandra's doing. He is a monster. So is Sarah. So is Brandon. So is Adrian. And I'm going to throw some others in as well. We'll get to that, as in Sarah's mother and Brandon's mother. These are sick ass individuals. It's really no surprise that it would take so long to bring all this to the forefront, because this case is horrible. It is inhuman. And I'm well aware, we've had a lot of conversations about this, that there is, still a hanger-oner that is trying to cause a lot of disruption for Michael's family. It is very, very disgusting. I understand this person is wanting to do some bad things to a couple of channels that I hold in high regard, as in PNW Revisited and Clutch the Pearls. We just don't do shit like that. And all I can say is I'm conflicted as to who Eve hates worse. Does she have such a hatred for Michael's family that she refuses to see the truth? Or does she hate herself that bad? Does she have such low self-esteem and such low self-confidence, and obviously intelligence from what I've heard, that she can't admit that she was wrong on the name of a beautiful little 5-year-old boy that should have never been taken from his family? But that's on her. So that's for now anyway. Like Forrest says, that's all I'm going to say about that for now. But we know today is Wednesday, and I think we can easily say today who can sit with us and who can't. So first, let's say, hey, Mike, we're almost to the weekend. Thank God.
Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
It is hump day. Who's got on their pink? I must confess, the only pink I have on today is just pink nail polish on my toes. But we wear pink on Wednesday. Seems like we're going to need a lot of pink, considering how nasty people want to be with horrific truths that are coming out. She said, I got pink bloomers on. Way to go, Joanne. Way to go. Well, before we get to what hit, I believe, on Monday, what's today? Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah. I did see the cherry-picked version, some stuff that was picked out by a absolutely disgusting human being that I wasn't going to entertain. Monkey's Army posted it without a watermark. We'll get to that in a minute. But before we get to anything, as we know, Brandy has known about this probable cause and then some for a very long time. A very long time. In my opinion, 5 minutes with this heartache is a very long time. We're not going to go through the whole thing today. We're going to do it in 2, maybe 3 parts, because it is a lot to take in. And your old buddy Brooks doesn't really have the iron gut for it like I thought I might be able to. It's a lot to digest. But as we knew, there was never any doubt, here anyway, Brandy damn sure kept her promise.
Hey everybody, I'm here today. It is Friday, January 24th, 2025. Michael Joseph Vaughn was abducted on July 27th of 2021. It has been 1,277 days since Michael has not been home. Brooklyn Police Department, the FBI, many other agencies have diligently, tirelessly worked effortlessly to help find Michael and bring him home. and get justice for Michael. There have been 4 named suspects in Michael's case: Stacy Wandra, Sarah Wandra, Brandon Shurtleff, and Adrian Lucian. I went and spoke with the prosecuting attorney, Mike Duke's office this afternoon.
Bless it. She can barely get the words out. She can barely get the words out. I can barely hear the words. And there is obviously rapid movement going on. But if you read through this probable cause affidavit, there's one for Sarah, and there's going to be ones for Brandon and Adrian too. It's only going to get worse before it gets better. And I'm not saying that to make anybody feel bad. It's just reality check. This is not good. This is just not good. This is horrible, horrible. And it's actually pretty damn amazing that these detectives put this together, considering the motley crew that was involved. All right, so we will come back to that. All right, so this is what was posted. Monkey's Army says a day ago. Probable cause affidavit of Stacy Wandra to be used freely and without watermarks. Please continue to respect the Vaughn family during this process. We are Monkey's Army. Okay, it cuts off a little bit at the top, but it said this is the home of Stacy and Sarah Wandra. A canine handler also reported that canine Banshee showed interest in the area of the corner of Meadowlark and Red Wing Street. The canine showed interest at the intersection and then headed straight to the fence and front door of the Wandra's residence. Okay, this is about the canine handler. Absolutely no doubt that Michael was in the house. On August 2nd, canine Banshee tracked scent down to a tree over the edge of the bluff off of Southwest 8th and 3 Rivers Way. Canine was determined to track the scent into the thorny bushes under the tree despite the thorns, and discarded child's stroller was located deep in those thorny bushes. Okay, well, we know what the dog was trying to scent down. On August 5th, 2021, a pink Big Flyer tricycle, a lot of people are assuming that the Red Wing tricycle, because we all know they're like fire engine red, was faded from the sun. I can buy that. All right. So on the 5th, the Big Flyer tricycle was located behind the Bluffs sign at 3 Rivers Way and Southwest 8th. During a search of the same area the day prior, the tricycle was not there. Jim Smith, who lives in the 3 Rivers subdivision, later reported that he had found the tricycle over the bluff under a tree next to a child's stroller. Jim said he took it home to use one of the wheels for another project, but then discarded it after not removing the wheel as planned. Jim said he left it behind the bluff sign for neighborhood kids to use. This is really confusing to a lot of people. Sounds to me like this guy is pretty cooperative. I don't know why he didn't use the wheel. I don't know what was going on that he put it back in the thorny patch, because I don't see a bunch of kids going through the thorns to get on the tricycle. I don't know. At this point, I don't care who you are. If you did anything to, this is evidence, whoever threw it down the bluff. Of course, the lies we're going to get into with Tina and Kay, which are mothers to suspects. It's disgusting. It's just disgusting. All right. So he didn't use the wheel and he threw the tricycle back. Okay. Kim Elko would later report to law enforcement that she had seen the tricycle in the Wanderer's garage during a yard sale in the spring of 2021. Elko was able to describe the layout of the Wanderer's garage and where she saw the tricycle on a stack of boxes. The described stack of boxes was still there during a later search warrant of the Wanderer's residence and garage. Now we get to Dorothy Starkey, who at the time was a neighbor to the Wanderers and was a partner to Carson Starkey. So Dorothy, who, yes, is an RSO, but my understanding is has absolutely nothing to do with this. She was present at blank in Fruitland. She reported on July 29th. Now, Michael went missing on July 27th. So all we can assume is it took her a couple days to process what she saw. That she saw Michael riding a big wheel tricycle at the corner of Red Wing Street and Meadowlark Avenue on July 27th as she was either entering or leaving the neighborhood. Dorothy is seen on surveillance videos coming into the neighborhood, westbound on Southwest 8th, at 18:25 hours and left the neighborhood eastbound at 19:25 hours. Other than Dorothy's report, there are no other reports of Michael being seen anywhere other than Southwest 9th Street and his next door neighbor's house on Arizona on the date of his disappearance. Video surveillance was gathered from security cameras in the neighborhood Michael disappeared from, as well as the neighboring areas. Michael is never seen on any of the surveillance footage that was obtained. So, of course, the question is, if Dorothy is seen on camera, then why was Michael not seen? I don't know enough about the cameras and how they're aimed to answer that question. I just know it's something that's come up. Not that anyone's doubting Dorothy. Stacy Wander is captured on surveillance footage driving a white Lexus and pulling into the parking area of the splash pad in the neighborhood off of Southwest 8th Street at 15:23. So that'd be about 3:30 in the afternoon on July 27th. I'm not good with military time. Please correct me. I'm sitting here doing it on my fingers, okay? Stacy is seen exiting the driver's door, walking around to the passenger side of the car, and appears to be testing the exterior door handle to see if it's locked. Now, he told us, that he had dropped his dip can and he had to go over and get it. He couldn't reach over. Okay? Not saying that Stacy is somebody that is a truthful person. Not saying that Sarah is someone that is a truthful person. Not saying that Brandon is someone that's a truthful person, or Adrian, who I've never spoken to. But that is what he said. So, but he is seen on the camera messing with the lock. I don't know if he was trying to do like a child lock situation. I don't know. Okay. So Stacy then walked back around the driver's side of the vehicle where he got into the driver's seat and exited the area onto Southwest 8th Street at 15:24 hours, 1 minute after arriving. Now, just from what he said on my show and others, he was splash padding it that day. That's how he said it to me. And I didn't know what splash padding it meant because obviously Stacy is not going to put on a pair of boxers and go play on splash pad. Okay? Video surveillance shows an adult male walking in the area of Three Rivers Way at 18:08 hours on July 27th. And the same male is captured walking in the area of the neighborhood splash pad at 18:18 hours. The last image of the male is captured at 18:28 hours as he walked through the wooded area to the west, back towards the area in which the Wanderers lived. Brandon Shirtlift was identified in 2022 as being this person and told detectives in an interview that the surveillance video captured as he... Okay, it cuts off. Let me see if I can get it. Basically, he told him that he is the guy that was walking. Let me see if I can find the picture really quick. I should already had it on here. What an idiot I am. And of course, over the years, there's been a lot of discussion about this. I think it was a pretty good guess we all had. So, but I'll read it again. Video surveillance shows an adult male walking in the area of Three Rivers Way at 18:08 hours on July 27th, and the same male is captured walking in the area of the neighborhood of the neighborhood splash pad at 18:18. The last image of the male is captured at 18:28 hours as he walked through the wooded area to the west, back towards the area in which the Wanderers lived. And then they said that Brandon was identified as what has been come to known as Walk-In Man. All right, I'm going to put this back up.
I saw the complete file documents for the charges for those 4 suspects that will be brought to them. As hard as they were all to see them in words, but tears on those papers. Justice is coming. As those papers are drawn, Portland Police Department are continuously and still working on leads and suspects that are speaking to law enforcement, as well as other persons of interest in Michael's case. They're doing a tremendous job, all of them, and they're working together. And we stand with them. It was amazing to see, and as heartbreaking it is to see, nobody's giving up. And those charges, they are coming. I saw them in black and white. Thank you, everybody that continues to support the law enforcement and our justice system, our Pitt County justice system. They're going to get justice for Michael. So, Sarah, Stacy, Brandon, Adrian, charges are coming. We know what you did. Tell us where Michael is. Because no matter what, justice will come. And we will find Michael. Monkey's Army will never give up. Thank you everyone again for your support. Continue and pray for answers. And please continue to support our law enforcement and the prosecuting attorney who will be trying these suspects in the abduction of our son, Michael Joseph Vaughn. Monkey, baby, I promised. We keep fighting every day. Pinky promise, my love. Be kind, everyone.
My goodness. Grubby Goat. Yeah, she is a warrior. I couldn't have sat there and done that. I couldn't have read all that. I'm just saying, I know my strength. If I have any with something like that. Brandy, she said now she's having night terrors. Oh, baby. Mm-mm. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Mm-mm. If I need to stop, I will stop. Okay? Are we okay to go on? Okay, on August 1st, they spoke to all of them. Adrian was vague in his statements and wouldn't commit to a solid statement. He also refused to provide his social security number for identification confirmation. He provided Stacy's phone number as his own and concealed his real phone number from law enforcement. Nothing sus about that, huh? Nothing sus about that, you pieces of shit. Cell phone tower data and surveillance footage shows Sarah, Stacy, Adrian, and Brandon were in the area of their neighborhood at the time of Michael's disappearance. Sarah, Adrian, and Brandon returned to Fruitland, verified by surveillance, in Sarah's blue Toyota Corolla at 17:08 hours, only to leave again at 17:12. The Toyota then came back into the neighborhood again at 17:56 hours, a little faded. Surveillance footage shows Sarah driving the maroon GMC pickup on July 27th, same year, 2021. As she drove out of the neighborhood, 19:08 hours. Stacy has been identified as the passenger, and Brandon was the driver's side rear passenger. Sarah, Stacy, and Brandon's phone data showed they were co-located as they left the neighborhood at 19:08 hours and drove to Kuna, Idaho. Adrian's phone did not provide any location data during the evening of July 27th. However, Adrian took a selfie, which is odd, in the guest bathroom at the Wander residence at 19:26 hours. Hold on, there's something that was deleted. Let me see. Lana, we're not going to do that. That's not cool. That's not cool. Wander's maroon GMC pickup truck is captured on surveillance footage returning to their Fruitland neighborhood at 23:22 hours on July 27th, 2021, pulling or towing a silver Mercedes-Benz. Now, Stacy was always adamant about sticking to this story about when they came back into the neighborhood. And many people were like, no, couldn't be. If it was dark, it wasn't at that time because it gets dark at such and such time in July in the summertime, just like it does here. You know, I mean, if you tell me it's pitch black outside, it's not 8 o'clock when you're outside because it's still light outside. Well, he provided a bunch of his Google, pins and stuff like that. And I was like, well, yeah, this makes much more sense. He was off by many hours, which was a deliberate lie. They're good at that. They're very good at deliberately lying. I mean, they're criminals. They're monsters. Following Michael's disappearance, Sarah had a distinct change in behavior. Following Michael's disappearance, Sarah began to stand alone in the highway near Love's gas station in Ontario, Oregon, with signs stating to repent of your sins and that the end of the time was near. Sarah's social media posts on TikTok and Facebook also changed drastically to religion and asking for forgiveness of her sins. Prior to Michael's abduction, Sarah had posted only approximately 11 videos on TikTok over 3 years. Well, she changed that because she was TikToking left and right. Crazy shit. Not crazy enough to not know better, though. No. Whew. So she hadn't been like a big TikToker before, but following Michael's abduction, Sarah posted approximately 329 videos from September 15th, 2021 through December 24th, 2021. In TikTok videos Sarah made 10 of the 10 commandments, and she said she had broken all of them. It should be noted that thou shalt not kill is one of the 10 commandments. Sarah also alleged in her videos that it did not matter what sins she had committed because God had forgiven her for all of them. Oh, okay. Well, then wrap it up, Sarah. Wrap it up, Sarah. If you've already been forgiven for all of these horrible, horrible things, and you have that type of faith in Jesus, wrap it up for this family. Please. Because I believe that Sarah and Brandon know exactly where little Michael is. Sarah also alleged in her videos that it did not matter what sins she had committed because God had forgiven her for all of them. Michael's missing person flyer can be seen on her refrigerator in the background in some of her videos. And we have talked about that quite a bit. Okay, Sarah was interviewed again by law enforcement on November 15th, 2021. Stacy was also interviewed. After being confronted with the photo of her leaving the neighborhood on the 27th of July driving the GMC, Sarah said Brandon's mother, Tina, was out of town. Okay, it's cut up again. I'll fill it in. Hang on. Yes, Brandon knows. You're right, True Crime Beat. Sarah said Tina did not allow Brandon to have people in her home when she was not there. So Sarah and Stacy parked down the road, and Brandon used a back gate on the south side to enter Tina's residence so that her doorbell camera did not capture him there. Sarah reported that while towing the car back to Fruitland, the tow strap broke. They've talked about that quite a bit. For some reason, the tow strap is real significant to these people. Something was really freaking them out, and it wasn't a tow strap. And Kay and Tina, man, I don't even know what to say about these two mothers. Mothers. I'm a mother. You don't have to be a mother. I have 3 little boys. Well, they're in their 30s now, but you know what I mean. These women are mothers. Michael Vaughn has a mother. They need to be prosecuted. Sarah and Stacy Wondrous sold their phones, lost or sold their vehicles, and got rid of their furniture shortly after Michael went missing. Sarah was asked about changing her phones following Michael's abduction. Sarah provided 2 reasons. Sarah said that she sold their phones because she and Stacy were splitting up, and Sarah said that they sold their phones because a demon told her to. Sarah was still making payments on the phones, everyone. She knew there was information on those phones. Just like these are not clean and neat people, but when they got rid of the maroon GMC, it was clean. I mean, Clorox wipe clean. Clean, clean, clean. She said, I literally had like a demon tell me that I need to leave my husband. I literally deleted all of my pictures. I have no idea what my passwords are. We had a fight. My husband and I had to sell our phones, and we had to get new phones. And I can't access any of my stuff. So I do have Facebook. Just don't have access to it right now. When asked about the vehicles Sarah and Stacy have, Sarah said the GMC pickup was repossessed. Sarah said she told Stacy when they heard the repo guys were coming to take the truck, they were going to be the nicest repo they had ever had today because they wanted that truck gone. They wanted that truck out of their way. They did not want that truck anywhere around them. Of course they were nice. Hell yeah, they were nice about it. Law enforcement was later told that the truck appeared to have been thoroughly cleaned prior to the repo. Yeah. Who really goes out there and makes the repo spick and span? No, they wanted that truck gone. Hey, I see you. What's up, girlfriend? Following the interview on November 15th, 2021, Brandon reported Sarah and Stacy contacted him and told him that they were re-interviewed about Michael's abduction. Brandon said Stacy suggested Brandon come over to their place and create an alibi or write a letter on behalf of Sarah and Stacy saying that they were not involved in Michael's abduction. Could you imagine that meeting? Hey, Brandon, you're up to your eyeballs in this, but come over, let's make up an alibi. And he's making it sound like it's like a get out of school note. We're going to write a letter that Sarah and Stacy had nothing to do with the horrific crime. Ugh. Tina Mariel, who is going to deserve everything that comes her way. Brandon's mother was interviewed by law enforcement. Tina reported that Brandon's behavior changed after he lived with the Wanderers. Tina explained that Brandon became more depressed and withdrawn, spending more time playing video games and smoking marijuana. Is that what we do when we're depressed now? Okay. Tina would not tell law enforcement where Brandon was or what his phone number was at the time. Now we get to Kay Ramsey, another concealer, cover up, liar, but she has a much longer history of it. She has covered for Sarah in some of the most, well, this is the most despicable for years. Kay is something else. Janaka, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. Thank you, babe. Kay Ramsey, who is Sarah's mother, was interviewed and shown a picture of the tricycle described above. Kay claimed that she found the tricycle in some bushes prior to Michael's abduction. The bushes that Kay described are near where Mr. Smith found the tricycle just after Michael's abduction. Kay said that would be the reason her DNA would be on the tricycle. What a weird thing to say. Okay? What a weird thing to say. Let's put this in like normal talk. You're out taking a walk and you see a tricycle over in the woods. You're either going to go and get it, thinking that, other kids can play with it, or you're just going to totally ignore it. But you're not going to say, well, my DNA could be on it because I did see it in the bushes. Now, Kay is an old ass woman. Some people would describe her as feeble. I don't really care about her physical ailments. I really don't. But I have a hard time believing that she went through all that shit to try to get that tricycle and then volunteers. That might be why her DNA is on it. That's weird. That is an admission of some sort of guilt, in my opinion. Kay said that would be the reason her DNA would be on the tricycle. Kay said that after all of that effort, she left it at the intersection of Three Rivers Way and Southwest 8th Street. Kay was 73 years old in July of 2021, and the bushes were very difficult to get to. There's another word for it as opposed to strange. It's called cover up. Cover up. Thank you so much, Pat. Pat said, thank you for keeping it about Michael. Absolutely. Retro Girl, thank you so much for the super sticker. You guys are making me blush up here. This is concealing evidence, and I'm not a lawyer, but I don't know anything about their statute of limitations in Idaho. I haven't looked that far into anything yet. And either way, I don't need to, because I think that, they are definitely in good hands. They have worked very, very, very hard. I have a hard time believing that any stone isn't going to be turned. Kay also confirmed to law enforcement that Sarah and Stacy's dog had dug holes in the backyard of the Red Wing residence. Kay reported the dog had dug up what she later determined to be the ear of a green stuffed animal. Kay said she had thrown away the stuffed ear. What? 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 There's a little boy missing in your neighborhood. That your daughter has been questioned. That your son-in-law has been questioned. That your daughter has lost her ever-loving effing mind. You come across randomly, actually not so random, and you come across this stuffed animal, the ear of a stuffed animal, and you say nothing? Kay Ramsey confirmed to law enforcement that Sarah and Stacy's dog had dug holes in the backyard of the Red Wing residence. Kay reported the dog had dug up what she later determined to be the ear of a green stuffed animal. Kay said she threw the stuffed ear away. There's no getting past that statement. Kay is alleged to have withheld information and or evidence in other criminal investigations involving Sarah in 2022. Then Kay initially concealed a firearm used in an aggravated assault in which Sarah was later convicted, and it gives the case number. CR 38-23-0512. So Kay has a history of breaking the law in order to cover for Sarah. Yes, she did. Okay, I'm going to put this up real quick. We're going to take a couple breaks through here so everyone can take a deep breath. This is from Monkey's Army. Some text messages flowing back and forth. I tell you what. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Cat. Jinbug said, over-explaining herself. Exactly what she's doing. OG Nanny said she should be charged too. Absolutely, she should be. Oh, yeah. And if they don't do it, they can't do it, it's not from lack of trying. Brandon, every time you talk to me, I know it's you. It doesn't matter the account names you hide behind or talking in third person. You are effing retarded. That all being said, clearly you know what happened or what, in your own words, the fat, freaky people did. And that is words that Brandon uses. Careful, that might hurt your girlfriend, Sarah Wanderer's feelings. Woo. Okay, then we have the who are you, just a TikTok creator. Why? Let's read. Prime suspect, Brandon Shirtlift's own words. Brandon is no innocent bystander. No. And that damn girlfriend of his, Misty, I hope she is talking to the authorities because he told her a lot of stuff. Brando innocent. That's why. Adrian too. Who's Brando? Brandon Shirtlift? That's just an innocent bystander. No, he's not. None of them are innocent. There's no bystanding. No. I wish it were that simple, right? What was that simple? To find the kidnapper and what the fat, freaky people did. Oh. Always trying to take himself out of the scenario when he knows he 100% can. They have always played this game. I can't say all of them because I've never spoken to Adrian. But Brandon, I've never spoken to Sarah. So Brandon and Stacy, they have this game going. And, well, it's not a game at all, but you know what I mean. You understand the metaphor. 1 minute, everything is Adrian's fault. It's just the black guy. It's just the black guy. That's how they talk. Then it's 100% Stacy. Then it's 100% no, Brandon. Brandon did all of this, and he did it for Sarah. The detectives know. This probable cause affidavit is not anywhere near everything. Not anywhere near. It's the tip of the iceberg, if you may. Your very first question to me, Brandon, was, who are you? Who am I? We are Monkey's Army, who collectively have saved over 50,000 screenshots, vital records, locations, family trees, friends lists, and everything else you can possibly think of over the last 4 years. You made the mistake and continue to make the mistake of giving us time to investigate everything. That's who we are. He probably didn't take too kindly to that. He is a little bitty coward. He is. Man, they are monsters. I mean, they are monsters. All right, I'm going to put the link down if anybody wants to come up and give their 2 cents, nickel, dime, $5 worth, whatever you want to call it, about what's going on here, because it's a lot to digest. It really is. All right, on November 5th, 2022 at 55 hours, Stacy contacted Fruitland Police and requested an interview at the Washington County Jail. Stacy provided vague details about events surrounding Michael's abduction. Okay, this is somewhat well known because Stacy was really wanting a deal. Really wanting a deal. He's not real freaking smart. He didn't think that while he sat there in the jail, they were moving evidence around. I'll just say evidence. Okay. Okay, Stacy provided vague details about the events surrounding Michael's abduction. Stacy said Sarah's religious beliefs and behavior changes started within a couple of days after Michael's abduction. After Stacy's arrest for an unrelated incident, Stacy spoke of changing phones and/or SIM cards to prevent law enforcement to follow or profile him. Well, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense than we were breaking up or a demon told me we had to get rid of the phones that we're currently paying on. Yeah, that makes a little more sense. On November 10th, 2022, Stacy again asked to speak with Fruitland Police Detective. Stacy wanted a deal, the same offer that was given to Sarah in the Michael Vaughn case. Stacy admitted Michael had been in his house the night of Michael's abduction. Hold on one second. I'll bring Retro up. Let me see. Let me just restart. On November 10th, Stacy again asked to speak with Fruitland Police Detective. Stacy wanted a deal, the same offer that was given to Sarah in the Michael Vaughn case. Stacy admitted Michael had been in his house the night of Michael's abduction. Stacy admitted the tricycle had been in his garage where Kim Elko had previously described seeing it. I'm going to bring up our friend Retro Girl. Retro, what do you think? Sounds to me like, even though this is from Stacy's point of view, they have tons and tons and tons of more discovery, evidence, everything. Their gooses are cooked. What do you think, Retro?
Oh, I absolutely think so. Discovery, I don't think comes out until the goes to Stacy's lawyers. Doesn't go to Stacy.
Some of these people act like these people that are on the internet, they really have it in their mind that suspects are telling the truth, and they have it in their mind. It's like they only went past 5th grade. They really think probable cause affidavit is everything. It's not. Now, we've seen some over the years, and it's almost like they're spilling out their whole case. Everyone does it different. There's going to be a whole bunch of discovery that comes out.
Yeah, there seem to be some people in the cheap seats who think that the PCA for this case is all they've got.
I know who you're talking about, and she knows better than that. She is an idiot. Actually, I don't know if she's an idiot or if she's just that hateful of a person. I don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm going off on a going down a rabbit hole here. So let's go back to what we're talking about.
Okay. Stacy then said that when he first saw Michael, Sarah was carrying Michael into their home. Stacy said Michael was put into a duffel bag to transport him out of their house into Brandon's house in Kuna. Stacy said Sarah was frantic, trying to figure out what to do, and Brandon interjected, "I have a duffel bag." Now, if you remember when Stacy was on my show and I asked about, and other people too, just speaking for myself, and I asked him about the duffel bag. Without even being prompted or asked, he goes, "Well, it's not something you could put a human being in."
Yeah, I remember that. It was it was an unsolicited detail. Unsolicited extra information. I think Chris McDonough had his name fell out of my head. He had a statement analyst on the show a couple times who said unsolicited information is always a red flag.
Well, I mean, we have Kay, page 2 of this, that they're talking about the tricycle again, and she goes, "Oh, well, my DNA would be on it because she was taking some leisurely walk through the thorn bushes and she tried to get it out." I mean, like, what, really?
She was messing with, I think Kay was messing with that tricycle.
Oh, hell yeah, she was. She's trying to cover up for Sarah. That's all she's trying to do. So Brandon says, "I have a duffel bag." Stacy described Michael as crying and trying to prevent him from moving, or making noise. Stacy described how Sarah taped Michael using duct tape. When asked who put Michael in the bag, Stacy said Brandon grabbed the bag and gave it to Sarah. Sarah picked up Michael as Adrian helped hold the sides of the bag open as they shoved Michael into the duffel bag. Stacy described Michael was wiggling, trying to get away. Stacy said he could see Michael in the bag with his knees bent up in the fetal position while describing and demonstrating how Michael was taped and stuffed into the duffel bag in his living room. Stacy had a physical reaction and began violently vomiting. When asked if he was vomiting because of the chewing tobacco he was using, he indicated that he was throwing up because of the stress of talking about Michael. I give a fuck about Stacy's stress.
That detail right there tells me that he's not just offering I think one theory that I've heard that somewhere, not going to say where, is that sometimes suspects will or tell stories, just tell stories about things that didn't happen, kind of in the false confession category. That doesn't sound to me like that's what is going on if somebody's violently
Oh,
throwing
hell
up,
no.
which I don't even want to think about, quite honestly. But
No, and people need to remember Stacy's all about Stacy. You don't have to know Stacy for too long to put that together. You don't have to be Dr. Gary or Dr. Phil or behavioral panel to figure out that Stacy's all about Stacy. Okay.
oh no, oh absolutely.
And again, he asked for this meeting. He asked to talk to detectives because he wanted a deal. A deal. And like he said on this show and others, that the deal was conditional to tell them where Michael is. I truly believe he doesn't know. I think Sarah and Brandon know. I got Pat K backstage. Can we all say hello to Pat K? Well, hello, Pat K. What are you thinking about this horrific document?
It's unbelievable. Sorry, I'm speechless because I'm just in shock. My heart's just beating so much. I read a bit of it the other day when someone had put it in Discord, but it's just so upsetting. When you were reading there, I just hit the link because I thought, okay, we need a bit of a break. It's just, it's horrible. What can anybody say? I'm just sitting here praying and praying for any type of healing to hit the Vaughn family. And, you know, I used to always say, you know, prayers for Brandy and that, but then I realized that it's Tyler too. It's the whole family.
Oh gosh.
You know, and I just want to let everybody know, you know, let's just pray for the whole family to find some sort of healing. I don't think peace is going to come. We just want Michael back with his family.
100%.
And
I can't even imagine. I just can't.
No, I don't know how they go on. I honestly don't. It's so heartbreaking to see it in print. It's just heartbreaking. And I know Michael's better now. He's with the Angels. And that's good.
What do you think about Kay and Tina and the way that they're covering for their adult children as opposed to taking up the sword for a beautiful 5-year-old little boy? Well, they're a special type of monster.
You know, well, what do their kids turn out like? That's what I think to myself. Well, if you have a mother that's going to do that, and then look at her child, look at Sarah.
There you go.
Like, there you go. Like how is,
yeah.
You know, no excuses for Sarah. Excuse me, but she didn't even tell anybody about the little part of the stuffed animal. Why did she had to say she touched it? What did she think? DNA, you know, is going to protect her daughter? Oh, that's my DNA. And then is she the one that said she touched the bicycle too?
Yeah, they said that it was in like basically it was, off the bluff behind a sign. It was, thorny, a lot of, I'll just say a lot of, weeds, stuff like that. And here she is, in her early 70s, and she's like taking some leisurely walk to the sign where the tricycle was back there, and she volunteers, reading it, literally, that her DNA would be on there because she saw the tricycle and tried to get it out and then just left it.
Yeah.
So, and I think the tricycle must be important because Dorothy Starkey saw him on that tricycle on the 27th, and another lady saw that same tricycle at their garage sale in March of 2021. So
Yeah.
basically, they're trying to fill in that loop,
Yeah, and Kay's just offering way too much up. Like, that's it. How can a mother do that? So, she's like,
she's such a dumb fuck. It's not a goddamn crime because you saw a tricycle and went to move it. And she's talking DNA and shit like that.
and she obviously doesn't understand DNA.
Oh, she
So,
understands. She's trying to keep herself out of it and continue protecting Sarah.
yeah, well, you know what? There's a special place in hell for the people like that too.
Mhm.
So, you don't do that. I don't care what my son had ever done. I would never, ever be okay with something like that. Never. If you do something that's immoral and disgusting, like what we all feel, Sarah was involved with, you don't stick up for it. I don't care if it's your child.
Hell,
You can't do that. That's just, it's enabling them to keep doing it.
She can love her from the back of the courtroom, and just,
Well, that's right. You can still always love your child, but that doesn't mean you get right in bed with them and be as immoral as them. That's not right. It's what about this poor sweet little boy and the family that's missing him? I mean, we were always here for Michael from the very first day. Michael and the Vaughn family. And that's it. And we stand behind them 200%. And we pray all the time. I pray all the time for Michael. And I'm just glad he's in a better place and being looked after by the angels. Anyway, I got to jump down. I just wanted to come up and say thank you for putting this out there. I know a lot of us don't want to hear it, but we want to know. I don't know. I feel like because of it happened to Michael, then we, if we can, should listen to what happened so we can just pray. And I've never prayed so much till I heard of Michael and stuff. So anyway, thank you, Brooks.
Love you, Pat. Everybody,
Love you.
give Pat a big internet hug, please.
I got it.
How are we doing, Retro?
Oh, fine. I'm just taking in what Pat had to say. About parental enablers. Kay and Tina are both special types of disgusting when it comes to their kids.
You're a mama. I'm a mama.
I'm a mama. I understand.
She's a mama.
I understand.
Now
But
mama.
they've Pat.
They are
Tina and Kay have done things I quite honestly could not understand. I'm starting to think that Kay might know where Michael is. I don't know, but it just thinks there's things being said here that kind of point in that direction.
I wouldn't be surprised. And like I said, she's doing everything she can to keep Sarah out of hot water. That's ridiculous behavior. I mean, Pat has a really good, analogy. Well, look how their kids turned out. Of course they're that way. I mean, I hate to be that way because I know some really great people with real shithead kids, but I mean, I see where she's coming from. And Tina, I just don't know. Like I said, she's doing everything she can to protect her little boy, Brandon, even saying, so depressed, all he can do is smoke pot and play video games. You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. What a thing to even say. You can't tell me in that area, that neighborhood, they did not see these flyers everywhere and did not know of or see a very frantic family looking for Michael Vaughn. How come that did not pull at any of their heartstrings ever? Ever. Do they have souls at all?
Yeah, that's what I just don't. I can't even picture what this Kate is like. But it seems like I've heard some things about her, other things she's done that have just really made my head swim. And then Tina, that thing that Tina said about her, the leaky toilet comment that Tina made. Oh my goodness, that has aged just horribly, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, uh-huh.
terrible.
Where she actually almost made a joke. Oh, they told me it was poop or something. I was just like, lady, you know better than that.
Yeah,
Okay, so
see, even as a mom, I can't understand why somebody would do something like that.
mm-mm. And hey, if Sarah thinks she's off the hook because God forgave her, well, no time like the present. Okay. I mean,
Exactly.
if you're convinced that, that you're not going to hell, then you might as well just get this over with and, make your bed here on earth. If you take
Exactly.
care of that part of it, you,
Exactly. I mean, making a crying video on TikTok doesn't quite demonstrate remorse in the same way that letting a family know where their child is does.
no, no, no. So, of course, like I said, these are, you and I have talked about this. I think I was talking to Susan about it this morning. These are nasty people. Okay, they don't live clean. All right,
No.
they're gross people. But when they had the happy news that the GMC was being repoed, they took the extra step to make sure to give it back to the repo man in pristine condition. I mean, clean, 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 clean. Stacy provided two reasons that they stopped in the GMC at the corner of Southwest 8th Street in South Arizona and Fruitland. One, for Stacy to put power steering fluid into the vehicle. Now, he said that on my show, and when I asked about the child, that's when he started talking about seeing a child, which changed gender and race quite a few times. So again, that came from Stacy. And then it says, number two, so Brandon could check to see if Michael was still alive because Michael was bound with duct tape and stuffed into a duffel bag in the bed of the truck. Stacy said he was able to hear Michael making noises like a dull scream. Stacy said they were worried about being seen because they saw a car parked off of South Arizona. So this story he tells us about the power steering fluid or the power steering making all that noise, that wasn't what was making the noise, because even the dumbest mechanic, as in Stacy, would have made sure that they had put power steering fluid in before they left the house. But they did a dead stop right there.
Well, it sounds like the power steering fluid might have been a little bit of, no pun intended, a bit more leakage there too from Stacy, because we've got this poor kid that we've taken that's in the back of our truck who's screaming, and then in his leakage he turns that into a steering wheel that's making noise.
Sure he did. And we haven't seen a probable cause for Brandon. We haven't seen one for Adrian, but it's kind of like they each have their own version of a story, and somewhere in the middle is the truth.
Exactly.
God bless
Exactly.
these detectives that have had to weed through all of this. Plus, I mean, I'm sure they have a ton of forensics and, other things like that will come out later. I don't know that they're going to come out publicly or if it's going to be like a trial thing. I don't know how they're going to do it. It's a horrible, 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 horrible situation. I mean, when we were talking about, doing the show and everybody was, putting their, we were just, talking. And, the only title anyone could think of was the same thing we all just kept saying, just monsters, just monsters.
I just cannot, I can't imagine a kid taking a kid. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. So he gave 2 reasons why they stopped: to put power steering fluid in, and so that Brandon could get out and check on little Michael.
I've
So
got to
then,
expand this here and see where we are in the PCA.
Stacy said they drove straight to Brandon's mother's house in Kuna, Idaho, where Brandon grabbed both bags, the duffel containing Michael and a backpack, and went into the house by himself. Stacy said that once they arrived in Kuna, Michael was not making any more noises, and none of them had checked on Michael to verify he was still alive. Stacy said that Brandon told him he left Michael in the bag and put him in the spare room inside his mother's house. Okay, so then we go back to what Stacy said to me, that they went there to do laundry and, of course, get that junk ass car. And that Brandon he changed clothes. They left the laundry in the washing machine. And the next day, Sarah and Brandon went to put the laundry in the dryer. Now, we all knew that didn't make any sense. We all knew that. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, and Brandon's going to give probably a totally different landscape to what Stacy says here.
Well, he's already given a different one to JLR way back.
Oh, God. Does that just not make you sick now you think about that?
Oh, exactly.
Okay, so they go straight to Brandon's mother's house and they leave Michael there, is what Stacy says. All right.
In an interview, that I've listened to a couple people cover about the PCA, and it's just now started to really, it's really sinking in right now for some reason that he was left there by everybody. It's oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Common Sense True Crime said, think about how scared Michael would have been, put into a duffel bag, special place in hell. Exactly, Kat. Brandon can't even speak in straight sentences. He can't deny it's him in the photo. He admitted it to the cops. He's sick. He is a sick, evil, evil, evil person. You know, the last time I spoke to him, or time before last, I don't know, I could tell he was super agitated, and he just kept saying to me, are you on the good side or the bad side? Are you on the good side or the bad side? Well, I'm on Michael's side. I'm on Michael's side.
Exactly. That how could being on Michael's side not be the good side?
Mm-hmm.
That's the acid test for whose side you're on. Who you're helping. Are you helping Brandon? Are you helping Sarah? Are you helping Stacy? I guess he's got a helper now too. Or are you there for the Vaughn family and for Michael? That kind of, says whose side are you on?
Mm-hmm. Well, to Brandon, I think I know what he was saying. I mean, the good side is his side,
Oh, exactly. I'm it sounds like Mama has done much to reinforce that throughout his lifetime.
Mm-hmm. And then he was with another mama because he was staying at Misty's house, and Misty's mom was under the impression that only Stacy had done these things. It was really weird. And I know one time there was a big argument. Misty was talking to me, and Brandon, she had said a couple of things I'm not going to say out loud, and he was furious at what she was saying. I'll just put it that way. Okay. In an interview, Stacy stated that Michael had a stuffed animal. He said, some sort of stuffed animal, I want to say like a dinosaur or a monkey. And what I saw was a monkey, was a green and looked like a green monkey. In one interview, Stacy advised the lime green monkey was a dog toy that he and Sarah gave to Michael to keep him quiet while he was sitting on the couch in their living room. Now, we remember Kay saying when she came across this green stuffed ear from a stuffed animal, she did nothing. She threw it away. She knew damn good and well that they had been interviewed by the police. She knew there was a little boy missing in that neighborhood. She was already on high alert about the tricycle. She gets the ear of this stuffed animal and has the nerve to say, and I threw it away. Now here we are. Stacy said Michael had a stuffed animal, some sort of stuffed animal. I want to say like a dinosaur or a monkey. It was green. It looked like a green monkey. Does that not make you sick?
Yeah, it's exactly there. I mean, just this comfort, this object that they given him to comfort him is now in the ground. That's yeah. It's this is gut wrenching. It really is.
Mm-hmm. And anytime I can stop right here and we can pick up tomorrow. If you guys want me to keep going, I can keep going. Angel P just said I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's totally up to you guys. Additionally, Stacy stated that the idea to take a child to sell for money was Adrian's. Brandon has said that. Misty said that to me. And I wouldn't doubt it because they all have these now this sounds really bad to say it. I'm just trying to put it in normal talk, I guess. They have all these get rich quick schemes. I mean, everything from the oil to the cab rides to pretending to be hookers. They always have something going on. It just one, I mean, 10 grand. But they all say, Adrian, this was Brandon's exact words to me. This was Misty's exact words to me. And no, Misty wasn't there. Adrian was there to traffic. They said that kid.
So okay, so Misty has said that, and his involvement in this is very interesting because I think he came to them from Ohio, didn't he?
Well, one minute they found him behind a dumpster. The next minute he flew in from Ohio. The next minute he flew in from California. Who the hell knows where the asshole came from? He's behind.
He wasn't local like Stacy and Stacy's from Montana, but you know what I mean. He was he wasn't a local like Brandon was.
No. Additionally, Stacy stated that the idea to take a child to sell for money was Adrian's and that they would get a $10,000 cut. Stacy was asked if Sarah provided any direction throughout any part of this. Stacy said most of the conversation at that point was Sarah trying to figure out what they were going to do. Sarah asked Brandon, where should we put the body? And Brandon was like, well, you guys can take him over to my house and we'll deal with it. And that will buy us some time. Following his interview with law enforcement, Stacy called his mother, Tamara Johnson, from the Washington County Jail on a video visit. Tamara asked Stacy if Michael was alive. Stacy shook his head no and said Sarah accidentally killed him. Tamara asked how. Stacy said suffocation and went on to say they buried him in a duffel bag. So then we get to what was put out, the confession, and where he said trash bag, and he's like, it could only either be white or black. That's all we had in the house. So they're withholding enough to get a deal, is what it appears to me.
It's Stacy. I just striking me how Stacy, throughout all this thing, he's really engineered the way he's told the story to remove himself from all of the direct, unspeakable actions. He's like given himself like 1 degree of separation or something from, not 1 degree of separation, but he's kind of the direct, unspeakable evil actions are being committed by the other 3, and he's basically along for the ride, I guess is kind of a sick way to say it, but that's the only way I can think of. He's kind of made himself, he did this, and Adrian did this, and Brandon did this, and Sarah did this, and I was just watching and witnessing and along for the ride, basically.
Yeah, they all try to act like they're innocent bystanders. Piss on that. Piss on that. That is ridiculous. At any time, any of them could have just done a pretend butt dial 911 and just sat there.
Exactly.
Then they would have had somewhat of a chance.
Yeah.
They didn't give Michael any chance. They didn't give his family any chance. They are life ruiners. They are life ruiners. Kat said Stacy first mentioned the duffel bag when he was on your panel. He even said it wasn't big enough to fit a body in or anything. And he was real curt about that. He goes, it's not like you could fit a body in it or anything. Well, that about made me freaking puke. And then he had already told the detectives when he was on the phone with one of the detectives. And he goes, either white or black, that's all we kept in the house. Now, don't think that them twisting truths and twisting what they witnessed for whatever reason makes them innocent. Do not think that. Okay.
No, I don't think that. I don't buy that Stacy wasn't
These
involved
people
in
are
any of the
manipulative.
direct evil acts.
They are evil, and they'll say anything. He's
I mean,
saying what he's saying here. This is the difference for me, Stacy, because he wants a deal, and he wants the best deal for Stacy he can get. He knew his goose was cooked because his mama knows him. She knows about all the boys' homes. She knows about all the problems he's had his whole life to win. I mean, a mother says to him, is Michael alive? And he shakes his head. No. He's telling his mom no. After that interview and the phone call to his mom, this is in the probable cause affidavit, Stacy wrote an apology letter to Michael's parents. Then he attempted to hang himself in his jail cell, but he was rescued by Washington County jail staff. Huh. What do you think about that?
I'm just processing it all. Does this? I'm wondering. Sounds like the suicide attempt might have been for show.
I wouldn't doubt it. I'm telling you, I wouldn't doubt it. But then we hear, I mean, in this document that he got like physically, violently vomiting ill talking about Michael. So he, Candace Prim, thank you for the super sticker. Brooks, it's posse bleeping comes with him will be used. So what are you talking about? Are you doing talk to text? Girlfriend, what you talking about? Okay, so he attempted to hang himself in his jail cell. It should be noted that during some part of Stacy's incarceration in the county jail, prior to his confession and directions on where to find Michael's body, Sarah was out of custody and living back at the house on Redwood Street, as evidenced by her being there when law enforcement arrived to execute the search warrant. Sarah could have had the time and ability to move any evidence from the property without Stacy's knowledge. And I think we're pretty safe to say that's what happened because they excavated that whole backyard. They have evidence that Michael was there at one time. Stacy's telling him, this is where he's at. This is where he's at. The only thing he changed was duffel bag to trash bag and couldn't commit to a color. And he knew that deal for him was conditional on where is Michael. I really don't think Stacy knows, and I'm not taking up for Stacy. Okay? I would sleep right through a firing squad getting a hold of Stacy right now, and that's a horrible thing to say. But I don't take it back. Candace said, Brooks, it's possible that your interview switch Stacy will be used in court. Get ready. I've already had mini strokes. Woo. We don't want no mini strokes, everybody. Deep breath. Deep breath, Retro. Okay?
Yeah, you'll be fine. You did a good thing there.
So I really don't think Stacy knows. I think if Stacy knew, he'd be telling him. I really do, because he wants that deal. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. In June of 2022, Sarah called Kay, damn Kay, from jail and spoke about spouses being able to testify against each other. In a recorded phone call from the county jail to Sarah, Stacy expressed concern that Sarah was going to turn on Stacy. Sarah confirmed that Stacy was referring to Michael Vaughn. Sarah told Stacy that she had already told her attorney that she wasn't going to turn on Stacy. Who the hell? She told her attorney she's not going to turn on Stacy. Who gives a shit? She's just talking. She's just talking. Told her attorney that she wasn't going to turn on Stacy and that she wasn't going to testify against Stacy. Stacy then reassured Sarah that he never would testify against her. Oh, my Lord. Well, you're forgetting Brandon. You're forgetting Adrian. And there's a couple of other people I still wonder how much they really know about this. And I'm not talking about Kay or Tina right now. As a search warrant was executed on November 12th, 2022, Stacy described the exact location as to where to find Michael buried in the backyard of the residence. He instructed detectives through the video chat. And we have seen all that. And we have all seen that. Sarah, who was located in the residence at the time, was detained. As officers read to her the search warrant, Sarah made several strange statements. Wow, that is a lot. I definitely did not kill that boy. The Most High God already told me who did it. So, oh, wow. The Most High God just told me that Stacy was the one who killed him. So much for not turning on your spouse, right, Sarah? And he buried him in the yard of Carson's house. She also said the Most High God told her Stacy was the one that killed him and he buried him. Then the Most High God told her that Stacy was the one who did it. He wants me to make sure you understand that I had nothing to do with it. He said that Stacy buried him in the backyard, but by the shed. And we have read that in the Argus Observer. We've read that article many times, and it's from this probable cause. A total of 5 certified cadaver canines were deployed, and all 5 alerted inside the Wandra backyard. In the approximate, you want to hear something really freaking stupid I read the other day, Retro?
Sure.
Boy, I'll tell you what. This is the kind of stuff Pat K lives for because she's really big on, the DNA, transfer DNA, all that stuff. There is an idiot on a channel that you can probably guess who it is. It's one of this chick's, I guess, subscribers is how you want to say it. They said that the DNA is in the Wandra home because Brandy was going around passing out flyers. What? That's the reason that the dogs scented at their home. Make that make sense, Retro.
It makes no sense at all. The dog scented it in their backyard because Brandy gives the flyer to whoever answered the door at their little hovel there, and their little flop house. And because Brandy gave a flyer and her feet walked up there, all these dogs, cadaver dogs, not scent dogs, but cadaver dogs scented on the backyard. Yeah. Okay. Why don't you? Can you make that one make sense? That's where I'm. That's what I wanted to know.
I know. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. That she's out passing out flyers, and that's why the dogs hit on their house. That is just nuts. That's nuts to even. God, I'm assuming that Brandy and Michael are not identical twins. They obviously would have different DNA. What the absolute fuck, Retro?
Exactly.
Okay, so the canines were deployed, all 5 alerted inside the Wandra backyard in the approximate area of where Stacy claimed he witnessed Sarah and Adrian burying Michael. Neither Michael nor any human remains were located during the execution of this search warrant. Prior to excavating the backyard, law enforcement noted there were several areas in the yard that appeared to have been filled in with dirt or re-sodded. Kay and Ed Ramsey reported they had filled the areas of the yard where Sarah and Stacy's dog had dug holes. Okay, well, they're not going to have Michael's DNA on them.
No.
Various interviews after the disappearance of Michael, Stacy was asked what happened to his and Sarah's cell phones from July of 2021. These cell phones are gone for a reason. The truck, the Happy Repo, is for a reason. The tricycle, there's a reason. The stuffed animal ear, there's a reason. Stacy was asked what happened to his and Sarah's cell phones. Stacy said Sarah wanted to detract attention so we are not on the radar. And that was the reason, but she's supposed to be crazy, right? Crazy.
Yeah, and her reason I think was that they were evil, and that's or the devil told her to get rid of her cell phone. That's why she did it. Something like that. I think that's about to come up, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's people that want to lead us to believe that she's just crazy. Crazy does not know right from wrong. You know what I mean?
No.
Crazy
does not try to mitigate guilt.
Crazy isn't cleaning GMC trucks that were used in abduction. No. Crazy is not getting rid of phones and telling everyone in the house to follow Crazy's lead. And we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so what happened to the phones? Stacy said Sarah wanted to detract attention so we are not on the radar. And that was the reason they sold the phones. When asked if there was evidence of the crime on the phone, Stacy said there were text messages. Investigation revealed that the Wanderers changed their phones approximately 3 times in a 5-month period. Stacy described purchasing SIM cards to put in his cell phone to evade law enforcement. The GMC pickup was subsequently repossessed for non-payment. Stacy then called Kim's Cars, wanting the truck back or to borrow it. He also told them to hurry up and sell it. Stacy further advised that they sold the Lexus they had at the time Michael Vaughn was abducted. Okay, so why do you think at one point he wanted the truck back?
Oh, I suspect it was because those 4 people were just conveniently thrown under the bus by law enforcement. I suspect that's the reason he wanted the truck back.
That, or he was nervous that they hadn't sold it and got it off their lot and got it like into rotation somewhere far away from their house. And so he thought, well, screw it. If they can't sell it, I'm going to come borrow it and I'm going to get rid of it where nobody ever sees it.
Pardon the sarcasm, but this is, I'm just, there's nothing in here that this does not point towards 4 people being just conveniently thrown under the bus because the law enforcement had to put it on somebody.
No.
That's not what we're reading here, I don't think.
Oh, hell no. Within a few weeks of Michael's disappearance, the Wanderers' iCloud data revealed Stacy and Sarah searched for rental houses in other states, financial assistance in different areas. Well, we do know that they took that dog down to Texas. It's a wonder they didn't just stay down there or in New Mexico. And she made sure, Miss, I can't find my passwords to my Facebook and her TikTok. She was she was pretty precise in showing people where they were along their journey to take this dog. Additionally, a photo of items boxed up was taken on July 30th as if they were preparing to move. In summation, Stacy confessed that the 4 members of the household, Stacy, Sarah, Brandon, and Adrian, were all involved in the abduction and killing of Michael. Their home is in the neighborhood adjacent to the home where Michael lived and was last seen. The neighbor, Dorothy Starkey, saw Michael riding a tricycle near the Wanderers' home at the time Michael went missing. The same tricycle was seen in the Wanderers' garage prior to the abduction. That tricycle was discarded outside the neighborhood off a bluff after Michael went missing. Kay, Sarah's mother, claimed to have found it and moved it to the entrance of the neighborhood, which is refuted by the fact that another neighbor, unrelated to the case, claimed to have found it and placed it there. So Kay lied. Kay's story also does not account for the fact that the tricycle was in the house before being discarded and before Michael went missing. Live scent track dogs were deployed, and the only house they showed interest in was the Wanderers' home. That same dog showed interest in the area where Michael went missing from and the area where the tricycle was discarded. Based on the foregoing, your affiant is requesting that Stacy Wondra be charged with kidnapping and murder in the first degree as well as the concealment of evidence. That's the whole thing. And the affiant is Juanita Keller. And look at that. It's dated on my birthday, 6/12. Wow.
Oh, okay. That's that Juanita. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very pretty woman. Yeah. You've seen her in the press conference where they showed the suspects.
Okay. I didn't see her at the well, I'm sure I saw her, but I didn't notice I didn't make a note that was her. I saw her, a grainy version of her in that video with Stacy's confession.
She's super smart, super pretty. She's quite the power package. She's something else.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So there's a probable cause out for Sarah. We're going to go through that when you guys are ready. And then I just don't think it's going to be too long before it's going to drop for Brandon and it's going to drop for Adrian, because their names are all over this. They're not going anywhere. I don't care.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to drop for Sarah, because I'm just hearing things about Sarah that are beyond disturbing.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And it was quite the punch in the gut just hearing the words murder, abduction, concealment, extraditing Stacy, all of that. And then, you're reading this in black and white, and then you're just thinking, how on earth? Because, I believe Brandy has seen everything and then some. How she could sit there and read all of that.
I know.
It's just
I don't know I don't.
The word cruel isn't enough. These are disturbing, evil ass people. There's nothing they're not capable of. Nothing.
Exactly.
I know a lot of people I say a lot, okay, maybe three, want to somehow talk about their childhoods and, especially Stacy and how he might be trying to do the right thing. No, piss on that. There's not anything that these people aren't capable of. These are evil ass people. They're very evil.
Yeah, and it's out in the four of them. How convenient is it for any individual of those four people that there are three other people involved?
Talk about
each one of them has three other people that they can use to limit their exposure. That's why people were wondering, why did this case take a while? When there are four people, it's tougher, I would suspect.
Well, hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they've got to determine, just Stacy he's removed his own hands, literally, from the despicable actions.
Mm-hmm. Fundaski said, there is evil amongst us. They are all some kind of special, in my opinion, evil for sure. And of course, there's lots of questions, are they going to try all four of them together? Are they going to let him plea? I hope they do. I'll just tell the truth, the absolute truth, and tell him, where is Michael? Where is this little boy? Let him.
That's what they need. I'm going to jump down.
Okay.
To the news at noon, we begin with breaking news. A warrant was issued for Stacy Wondra connected to the disappearance and death of Michael Vaughn. Then 5-year-old Michael went missing in July of 2021 from outside his Fruitland home. Now a Payette County lieutenant confirms Wondra has been charged with first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction of evidence. In 2022, police announced Wondra, his ex-wife, Sarah, and 2 other individuals were suspects or persons of interest in Michael's disappearance. Authorities searched the Wondra's home and yard in Fruitland at that time. Sarah was charged with failure to report a death, but that charge was later dropped. Stacy Wondra is serving time outside of state for a different crime.
Grubby Goat, Sarah's ex-husband. I think he was on the lab one time before too. I believe it was the lab. Don't quote me. He said that Sarah was always talking about kidnapping a person. She was obsessed with the idea. Again, why it pisses me off so bad about Kay, that she continues to cover for Sarah, knowing that she has had some very evil ideas for a very long time. And again, she's a mother. There's a certain code as mothers. And I'm not saying if you don't have a child that you don't understand. I'm not saying that at all. You can't look at Michael's face without wanting the ultimate justice done.
And the lieutenant tells us that he was not been extradited back to Idaho yet. Sarah is currently serving time in an Idaho prison on unrelated charges. Payette County prosecutor Michael Duke said in a statement that the office was moving forward with, quote, charges against individuals involved in the disappearance and murder of Vaughn. He said the Fruitland Police Department has not been able to locate Michael or recover his remains. Michael's mom, Brandy Neal, sent us a statement this morning saying their family is filled with mixed emotions. She said in part, quote, all we have wanted is for Michael to come home. Knowing that charges are coming forth to these monsters, we pray that they will finally tell us where Michael is. Michael deserves to be home with his family. We are here and we want justice. Michael will get his justice. We want Michael home, and we're never going to stop until we have Michael home. You can read the entire statement on our website. That's ktvb.com.
And they won't. She wants her baby home. His daddy wants his son home. They deserve to have a place for their son. They deserve to have a service. They deserve to have all these things. Pat said, if anyone knows more about this, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Birds of a feather. It's never too late to help. I agree. Well, you guys, thanks for hanging in here. That was really rough. And I know some people took them, quite a few tries to get through all of it. Hence why we're doing this today, because we've had a lot of conversations about it. And I think, unless there's something like really fucking wrong with you, everybody's on the same page. That beautiful, innocent little Michael, thank you, Mallory, should never, ever have gone through this. I don't even know the right words to say this. It's disgusting. There's just no right words. Thank you guys for being here for Michael. Today's a good day to share his flyer and keep his name out there. You guys are the absolute best. I was planning on doing a show at noon today. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I got some things going on around here. If not, I will see you back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. Love you much. You guys are the best.